Good Wednesday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive Morning Weather Update. West side of the state, parts of the west side of the state, northwest lower, great rain overnight, light to moderate steady rain, good soaker as we would call it. That's all going to be shifting southeast through the day, and as we get into the second half of the afternoon, it will be very hot for this time of the year and for what we've had in Ann Arbor and Detroit, and that will fuel the increase in the strength of those storm systems, those thunderstorms in the late afternoon, and those could be scattered severe, not expecting a widespread severe weather outbreak by any stretch. And other things to look at too here in weather. So let's get right on into it and show you what's going on. So there's that rainfall all the way from Rogers City. I haven't been to Rogers City in years. I should ask my wife take a run there just to check it out. Haven't been to Sheboygan in years too. What's Sheboygan looking like nowadays? So the rain down through Cadillac, all of the Traverse City area has had looks to be a solid soaker overnight, and that extends down through Big Rapids and into the Grand Rapids area. Again, all of this is the current radar, and all of this is sliding toward the south and east. So this gives you a good idea of where the storms are expected to increase in intensity. Saginaw to Lansing, just on the edge of that. But as you get southeast of Flint into Detroit and Ann Arbor, better chance that there will be a robust thunderstorm or two. And how we see that is with the models. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model. It's able to forecast thunderstorms. By the way, can I just say something just for a second? There has been some thought. You know, the National Weather Service is down on employees. No, I've heard various things like 300 to 400 people. And some offices are saying they don't have the personnel, the person in that slot to send up an upper air balloon. That's very important data to go into the computer models that go out in the future. So if you lack one little square where an upper air data goes, it does go into the models. Where I'm going with this is the GFS, the Global Forecast System, the U.S. National Weather Service, NOAA's main long-range weather forecasting model, keeps forecasting hurricanes, major ones, into the Gulf of Mexico, where none of the others are, none of the other world models are, from United Kingdom, European, Japan. All those models aren't. And so the thought is that maybe some of the data lacking is affecting it. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, so high resolution rapid refresh. Let me hit the refresh because it wants a refresh all the time. And so we're at early this afternoon, and note how in the midday the showers shrink in coverage. The sun gets on top of the clouds, evaporates the clouds, and the instability hasn't built yet. And then as we go to, now this is 5 and 6 and 7 o'clock, this is a little bit weaker, but you can see that in the 5, 6, 7 o'clock hour, Ann Arbor, Jackson, Detroit area, maybe some heavier downpours and some thunderstorms. And then as we go through the night, this is 11, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., could be a solid soaking rain developing. Flint, the Thumb, Lansing, south and eastward, Grand Rapids, you would be out of that solid soaking. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, 7, 8, and then the rain winds down by mid-morning. And we look to have a dry Thursday. I'm going to show you various models because remember, the various models have different strengths of time periods. High resolution rapid refresh, its sweet spot is the first 12 hours. Then I jump to what's called the North American model. Its sweet spot, 12 to 36 hours. Then we jump to the European, and unfortunately we just pretty well forget about the GFS, the US model. It comes close to the European sometimes in the short term, next 2, 3, 4 days. But why look at it if it's going to confuse us and not be accurate? So here's that North American model. Let me hit refresh because at this time of the day it's starting to come in, but it's not. So here's what it says, is it goes into 4 and 5 and 6 o'clock this evening and 7 o'clock. It also says the same thing, some thunderstorms. Not looking real ominous, but overnight it has that same idea of showers in the southeast through the night. Hangs on to the rain till noon tomorrow in the Detroit and Ann Arbor area. I think that might be a little bit late. Usually most of this kind of rain falls apart about 10 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Jennifer Webster from Waterford, good morning. And Mark Esselstein Miller, good morning. And we go into tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a dry day. Now, this model wants to bring, maybe a light shower across Thursday night. I don't see that happening. It does look like the UP could have a batch of some showers on Friday. Then we go to the European, which is a good model for the long term. It's a good model at 2.5 days out to 7 days out, depending on what's going on. This is Friday. Friday looks to be dry across lower Michigan, maybe some showers across the UP, and those move quickly off into Canada. So Saturday morning, dry, Saturday afternoon, dry, Saturday evening, dry, Sunday not dry, because at some point this cold front will be coming through. This is at 2 p.m. Sunday, so you might have showers already in Petoskey and Boyne City and around the Traverse City sometime by early to mid-afternoon on Sunday. This is 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and you can see the heart of the cold front dropping south. My red flag goes up. This time of the year, strong upper-level system, cold front, afternoon, possible severe weather. They don't have us painted in that area yet, but just the overall, situational weather forecast would say that it's possible. Then we go into Monday. We're on the back side of the storm, the cooler side of the storm. This is scattered showery type weather, and maybe even on Tuesday a brief shower as we shake off that storm system. And then we go into summer, much like yesterday. Boy, yesterday was warm. I wasn't used to it, so... good morning, everybody. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Here's the total rainfall. Now, let me grab the latest again off the high-resolution rapid refresh. And what it does, remember, it's pretty gung-ho with a rain overnight tonight, so it's showing 1 inch to 2 inches. I would say it may be overdone. It's kind of out of its sweet spot, but I would say that southeast part of the state could have a nice soaking inch rain. Okay, now let's look into the future. I just want to tell you, I look at this stuff all the time. I try to find the long wave troughs and long wave ridges. Hard to say. What that means is, where does a ridge want to be in the northern hemisphere? And where does a trough want to be on either side of that ridge? And I continue to feel like, even though we have some goofy flow and getting these cut-off low pressure systems over the Great Lakes, kind of common for early June, but I continue to say that the ridge wants to be centered in the middle part of the country. The ridge line wants to be just to our west, Wisconsin or Minnesota, and that means we could turn hot to very hot. It means that the way things look, the middle of the U.S., almost the entire country except for the coasts could be hot to very hot if this is the way the summer is going to go. So let's look at the upper airflow together. Let's look at, this is the European, this is the upper airflow at about 15,000 feet, and you're going to continue to see a ridge wants to build in the middle part of the country. But you're going to continue to see these upper air disturbances drop in. Look at this one. This is that Sunday into Monday upper air system, and it swings out pretty quickly, quicker than the last one. The last one hung around for 4 or 5 days. This one's swinging out already by Tuesday afternoon, and here comes a subtle ridge trying to build second half of next week. So if you got summer vacation plans, summer is on. Remember that. Summer is on. It is not canceled. Just because you got depressed because there was some clouds, some showers, a little cool patch in late May, summer is not canceled. It is on. Get your swimming trunks and go on your vacation. Okay, sorry. But now we're into the following weekend. And we still want to have this, what we call, I don't know who developed this word, but this bagginess in the upper airflow tries to come. But look, June 17th, this model continues to want to build a ridge. And the only thing that keeps it from engulfing the entire eastern 3/4 of the U.S. is upper level low pressure systems out of Ontario. But something like that is a very warm pattern, and it's June 19th, and if it continues to build like it normally does as we go into July, we got some hot weather in store, folks. So about 90 today. Ann Arbor, Detroit, watch out. You got the stickies because of the humidity building, and that will fuel the storms too. Let's see. Carmelita Tiffany, camping next week in the Porcupine Mountains. Will we need our winter gear or summer stuff? Summer stuff. Summer stuff. Okay, so tomorrow, behind the front, we're in the 70s. That's probably, I should look it up, but that's probably a couple of degrees cooler than normal. Friday, June 6th, in the 70s. Saturday in the 70s. Sunday ahead of the front, the southeast gets pretty warm. Saginaw, the Thumb, Flint, Ann Arbor, Detroit, you're about 80 degrees. And then Monday, cooler behind that storm system. I showed you the upper airflow. And Tuesday, in the north, a touch cool. In the south, back to near 80. And then remember, summer is on. It's not canceled. It is just started. That's the other thing. I'm sorry, I'm going off a lot today. You're getting your money's worth today, aren't you? And it's free. I heard someone tell me the other day, boy, this just has not been any summer at all. And I said, did you look at the calendar? It's June 1st. That would be like saying December 1st, wow, we didn't have any winter. You know what's coming in January and February in Michigan? Winter. So, I'm sorry, but summer is on. And second half of next week, there's 80s. There's Sunday, June 14th. You get something like this by a model when it's out 10 days. You ignore it because fluky things can happen real far out in the future. That's why I like to look at the upper airflow with you. I also like to look at the ensemble of the upper airflow with you. It waters things down. If there was going to be a big ridge build, it would water it down, but it would still show the ridge. It would still show what the general trend is. So there you have it. I feel a little bit better now getting this off of my chest. The phrase for today, summer is on. Okay? All right. Enjoy the nice rain. Be careful with maybe a possible quick severe thunderstorm late this afternoon in the far southeast, and we'll keep you updated if needed. Take care. I'm meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. This is the MLive Morning Weather Update and more.